So last class we talked about resumes and bad resumes. So we looked at some spelling errors in some people's resumes. We looked at what makes a good resume. Let's see if this stuff will load up. We'll see. We don't know. And then what is it? And then also I showed you guys my resume. Let's see. All right. So here's my resume that I have. And so this is an old resume I used a long time ago. But as you can see, there are some things I would change on it. It's not the resume I use now, but it's very, very long, very big resume. And I showed you all the things that are wrong with my resume that are not do now, but what is it? But this is my resume. We talked about how to make a good cover letter. And now, you know, we are here for, let me stop sharing. Let me stop sharing. And so now you found a job that you like, right? You've applied for the job, and now they want to do an interview with you. They want to do an interview. And so what is it? This is a cool article I found online. I take no credit, but I did read over it. Let's see. I'm declining this. And so now let's learn, like, what is an interview? All right. So I don't know. In your countries, when you get a job or when you apply for a job, do you have to do an interview? Like how does it work? Do you give your application in person? Do you apply online? In your country, what do you do? Because in America, oh, so I asked, what's my favorite movie or TV series? Apply online, via email. Okay, via email. Okay, there are some jobs in America that you apply via email. Yeah. What is it? Oh, what is Arisha asked me what is my favorite movie or TV series? I don't really have time to watch movies or TVs, but I will say recently I've been watching Rick and Morty. That's really fun. So anything that makes me laugh, right? There's so many bad things in the world. I like a good laugh. Sam, you were great. You were not too shy. So in America, the main thing that you want to do is after you submit your resume, you'll most likely you'll get an email. Sometimes you'll get a call. You'll only get a call after your first interview, and I'll talk a little bit of that off screen. But what is it? After you apply, you will get an email asking you to schedule an interview. And so most of the time, those interviews are on the internet, electronic. And so you go into the system and you click again, and then there will be an electronic calendar. So like a calendar that you can click on, and you can click on when you want to interview. So and that's kind of how people do their interviews in America, because of the new state of the world, right? Many interviews in America are online. So most people do interviews online. It's very rare to have a first interview in person, only if you're applying for maybe a small customer service job. A small customer service job being um, a hostess at a restaurant. Maybe you want to work at a theme park. Maybe you want to work at, let me think, I had one in mind. Let's see, a waitress, working in a theme park. Oh, fast food. You may have to come in person on your first interview for that. But those are very small jobs for high school. Those will not be in person. If you're applying for a job like a teacher or something like that, it most likely will probably be online. If you're applying for a job as maybe something big like a doctor or a lawyer, it's much easier and more convenient for people to have it online. Doing it the interview online using Zoom is very, very convenient. Yes, they do sometimes do that. Yeah, so they do give you you'll receive a phone call, and they'll do a phone interview with you first. Some people do that. I have done a phone interview one time when I applied for a job in Britain. So that was that was back in 2017, I think, in Britain. So that was one of the few times that I've actually done one of those. But yeah, phone calls not uncommon, but not very common. But what do we have the job interview? What's the job interview for? So I like this article a lot because, and I'll explain to you because the grammar is very difficult to understand in this one. And so this says right here, right? Let's see, this one's a little bit easy. So it says a job interview is a conversation which occurs between a potential employer and a job applicant. So what does this mean, right? It's a conversation. I'll zoom in a little bit. So it's a conversation. So what this means is so potential means potential. The word potential means has the ability to be. So this means that you like when you use the word potential, you'll say, "Oh, this guy is a potential king." So he could be king. Like you could like you have all the qualifications to be a king. You have all of the features. Or this is a potential